everyone. Happy Monday afternoon. It's June. How can it be June already? My name is Laura Milligan, and I thank you for joining me on my weekly Facebook Live. If you're watching live with me, say hello. If you're watching on replay, say hello as well. I appreciate all of you. Today I'm going to be sharing 3 cards featuring the Wildly Flowering Suite from our new annual catalog. Beautiful, beautiful products. And I have a couple things I'm going to talk about, so let's get started. Let me change my camera view down. And if you're there, please say hi. I'm going to just start with a couple little things. For those of you that are local to me, I am having something, this is something new and different. I haven't done this before. It's just going to be lunch with Laura and friends. And what I realized was we all just like to get together, right? Women like to get together and chit chat and visit with each other. And so I thought, why not do a lunch and then, of course, bring in some stamping as well. So you will leave with your tummy full from a delicious lunch. You will be also in hand leaving with some beautiful cards. Really excited about this. I have a few spots left. I will be doing this again. I'm not sure how often, but I've had a good response. I do have a few spots left, so if you haven't registered yet, go ahead and do that. And then I released a new class. This is the Citrus Blooms. There's some people joining in. There's Betty, Myra, Colleen, Anne Marie. Hi, everybody. Hi, Marianne. How are all of you? Hope you had a good weekend. It finally cooled off here, which was a relief from all that hot weather. I just released this class on Friday. This is the Citrus Blooms card class to go. It features, and you have seen me use this. I made 3 cards. I think it was the week before last. But here it's on page 34 and 35. These are the products that are included in this suite. And so Sherry and I have come up with a class with 6 different card ideas. I can show you. So the basic class fee is $45. That includes product, usually between $20 and $25 in Stampin' Up! Products, and then 6 card kits so that you can make 6 different cards. You'll have 6 different ideas with this particular bundle. And as well as, of course, the PDF tutorial, which has all the measurements, and we do a video of each card individually so you can follow along and stamp right with us. My classes to go are super popular, and it's a great way to get the bundle and have ideas just from the very beginning. Some really beautiful cards that you can make right from the beginning. The class fee is $45. If you want to add on the bundle, you can do that, and that is going to be catalog price. But let me just show you. I have not had a chance to make Sherry's cards yet, but let me just show you the 3 that I've designed. This one's a fun fold, and it includes ribbon and some gems. I hope that you will take this class. If you register by June 4th, which I think is tomorrow, you get an early bird special, and it's always some kind of product. It's an additional product that I will send to you and include in your class kit. So don't delay on that if you're interested. Okay, and you know what? Let me just show you. Here's the stamp set and the bundle that we're featuring for that one. Citrus Blooms card class to go. So the other thing I wanted to mention is in the month of June, starting June 5th, it doesn't start till June 5th, which is Wednesday, all bundles, and that includes stamp sets and die bundles, stamp set and punch bundles, are going to be an additional 10% off. These are already 10% off. That's what we always offer our new bundles at that discounted price, but now you're going to get, through the month of June, an additional 10% off. There's also an additional discount on the die cutting machines. So if you don't have one, I love our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and it's a great time to pick that up at a discount. So today I wanted to feature a bundle since they're going to be on sale starting June 5th. And so I kind of leafed through my catalog, picked this bundle, and it's called Wildly Flowering. I love the images. I love the words. I love the designer paper. There are gems that go with it and an embossing folder. And I have 3 cards that I'm going to make for you today. And hi, Elaine. Canadians can order this class. If you are Canadian, you can order it through my friend Sherry. You can get the PDF from me, but if you want the actual class kit, you need to do that through Sherry. And if you want to message me or send me an email, I can put you in touch with Sherry, and that would be awesome. She's a great lady. So let me just get started with this, and let's set that aside a minute. I know what I was going to say. I have 3 cards, and I'm going to do an ordering special again this week, so that if you place an order of $35 or more using this host code, I have a new host code this week, between now and Friday, you will receive the 3 kits to make these cards that I'm going to make today. Now, I always have to clarify, we do not include stamped images in our kits because that is a rule of Stampin' Up. That is their policy. So you will need to purchase this bundle. You could purchase the bundle on Wednesday, use this host code, and then you would get the card kits that I'm mailing to you, that I'm making today in the mail. But you do need to you probably want to have this bundle. So let me show you the designer paper. It is 12 by 12. I had to use some of it on my cards today. I need to put an order in, but look how beautiful this is. That's one side. This is what I have. There's more paper that I have used. I can't show you. I don't have enough of it, but there's some beautiful blues you'll see me use today as well. All right, so I'm going to start with the first 2 are somewhat simple, but they just showcase the products. Hi, Charlie. Charlie always comes and stands right beside me and wags his tail as I get started with my Facebook Lives, and then he'll get bored and just lay down and start snoring in a minute. So if you hear some snoring, that is Charlie. So this is the stamp set. I love the font on this, and then here are the dies, and it's 3 different frames, and of course you can work those together or use them individually. First one is pretty simple. It is showcasing the designer paper. It's kind of a vintage looking, very charming paper. And let me get my bone folder here. I'm using a thick white card base. It's my favorite. I use these thick white bases on almost all cards that I make because I just like the crisp, clean look of it. Okay, and I'm going to just attach this piece of designer paper on the front. This is 4 by 5 1/4. I just opened up a new tube of glue. Boy, that's nice. It just comes right out. Okay, so I'm going to center this on the front. Okay. And then I have these dies that I've already cut. So this is one of the frames. I love this one, and I love how this smaller die fits right inside that, and that there is stitching, I guess goes this way. There's stitching all around that edge, and the detail, I'm gonna hold this up so you can, hopefully I can get a good shot of it. Oh, you can see my inky fingers. Not sure if I can catch it. There's like stitching or lines on each of these scallops, and I don't think I'm going to be able to catch it on the screen, but it's there. Maybe when I'm all done and I hold it up, you'll be able to see it. So I'm just going to stamp You've Been on My Mind. Kept this card kind of simple because I just really wanted to showcase the designer paper. I'm going to use Early Espresso ink. And of course, we all like a simple card, right? Quick and simple. Okay, so stamp this right here. You've been on my mind. I'm going to close up my ink. And then we're just going to go ahead and put this together. Really simple. So I'm going to pop both of these up, and I'm going to start with the outside part. And for this, I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. Let me grab those. I'm just going to put 4, one on each side, and then the top and the bottom. Yeah. If this is one of those suites that, you know, when you have such beautiful designer paper, let the paper do the work so that then you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to put this just about right here, like that. It's actually pretty just like that, isn't it? It just kind of frames that. And then I'm going to, before I add this insert, I'm going to take a piece of white baker's twine and just slip it under here. Like that. Whoops. There we go. Just going to leave a piece of that. I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to tie this in a bow. I think white baker's twine and linen thread are kind of my go-tos as far as twine and thread and that sort of thing. So I'm just going to do a knot, and then I'll just tie a bow. Maybe. I'm going to do it again. Normally what I do when I tie a bow is I pull the loops in the direction I want them to go in. There we go. I kind of want them to go back like that. That looks good. Okay. And I'll trim this up a bit. I like the long ends on it. Okay, so we have that there. And then I'm just going to add this piece to the center. And I'll pop that up as well. So I think for this, let's see if I can find my regular dimensionals. Here's a partial sheet. Let's see what else I can find. Here's 2 partial sheets. I use every bit of these. You can see how I started cutting around these to use the edges. You should do that as well, because they work just like the regular ones that are pre-cut, these hexagon shapes. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. I'm just going to center it like that. Isn't that pretty? And then to finish it, I'm just going to add some gems. And for this card, I chose the Neutrals Adhesive Back Sequins. And let me grab my Take Your Pick tool, which I don't seem to see. Where is it? Oh, here it is. It's hiding behind my bone folder there. Okay, and I'm going to use this brownish color, probably early espresso. Just put one there. I like these because they're shimmery, and I like that they come in the 2 sizes. This is a quick, easy card, and I think a beautiful card, to send to somebody. So there's our first card. Hold it up, maybe you can, there you go. Now you can see the detail on that outside frame. All those little slits there. I think it's so pretty. Okay, so that's card number 1. Card number 2 is also very simple. It's a kind of clean, and maybe this is just a clean and simple kind of stamping day. All right, so these gems, I'm going to, hold on one second because I don't know, I need to find the name of them. I just have a partial pack here. They are called Opal Rounds Assortment. Love these colors, and they actually are part of the Citrus Bloom Suite. Unfortunately, they are not available right now. They're supposed to be coming back available, back into the warehouse early July. So I can't wait till they're available again because I love them. They're really, really pretty. Okay, here's another piece of that designer paper that I wasn't able to show you because I used all of mine. There's the other side. But I'm just going to take this piece. This is 3.5 inches across and 5.5 tall. So it's going to fit the whole length of the front of my card base. Oops. This is one of my favorite patterns. And this also, like I said, is another simple card. But sometimes, I don't know, I don't think you have to do a lot. Sometimes it's nice to just kind of keep it simple. So I'm going to use Misty Moonlight ink. And I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to stamp this, that, and then I'm also going to stamp the words, thank you. I like to stamp first, do that way. So we have that. I'm going, while I have my ink out, before I put that away, I'm going to ink this up again and stamp it off. Whoops. And then just have this down here on the inside. I could do that on the envelope as well. That would be pretty. That's just Misty Moonlight ink. All right, so now I have these two pieces, and I'm going to die cut. I've actually already done that, but I used the die cuts. This one is from the suite, and then this one is the Stylish Shapes. It's this banner shape there. That's a good basic die set to have in your stash if you don't have that yet. So then I have this, and then I also die cut a circle from Stylish Shape dies, and I like this one too. Both of these have the little paper piercing around it, and I just like that look. I'm gonna hold this down a minute here. It's not sticking. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my ink away. Okay, so I'm going to just put this on flat. I'm just going to center that at the top there. And then this I'm just going to put down at the bottom here. I am going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Oh, and look what I found, a sheet with the big size, and it's probably half full. So I'm going to use those. And I thought, you know, I always use ribbon or twine on my card. And when I made this, I kind of preferred it plain, which is not like me, but I really liked it. So I'm going to attach this piece, and what I did was I put some dimensionals on the top of the flower and then a little bit of glue on the stem, and that way I'm going to pop up the flower part, the bloom part, and then the stem's going to be flat. I felt like I learned that trick. That's a trick I learned from my friend Constance, and I love that. I thought that was such a cool thing. So I'm going to really pop this up. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals behind this, like this. And then just a dab of glue on the stem here. I'm just put that down, and then I'm going to hold this like that. So you can see it gives the flower has, it makes the bloom pop more, and then with the stem being flat, I don't know, I just think that's a fun little thing to do sometimes when you're stamping like flowers and that sort of thing. Okay, and then I'm going to use these beautiful gems, the opal rounds, and I'm going to do the blue color. It's kind of a tone-on-tone card. I guess you could call it a monochromatic card. I'm going to use a couple of the large and a couple of the small. One of the large, and I guess. So I'm going to put that there like that. Okay, so there we have that. There's the inside of our card. Again, you could stamp, I think I have, let me see. This would also be really pretty to, you could put the designer paper on the flap of the envelope. You could also use a coordinating pattern on the envelope. That would be really pretty as well. But again, super quick, super simple, and I don't know, I think it's really, really beautiful. I love blue. Blue is one of my favorite colors. So that's our second card. And then the third card is a little bit more involved. And just takes a little bit more time. And sometimes it's fun to take a little more time and make a little bit more. It's, you know what, it's good to have, I think it's good to have all types of cards in your arsenal, quick and easy, but pretty, and then, you know, some that are a little bit more involved when you have more time. So I have all the parts and pieces here for this card. I've done quite a bit of die cutting ahead of time and embossing, but I am using the new Basic Beige as my base. I think everybody's really loving this new color added to our color family. Okay. So I am going to start with a panel of basic white, and for this one I use the Distress Tile embossing folder. I think this goes really well with this set. I've been using this a lot lately, but here's what it looks like. And here it is. There you can see that pattern. It's really pretty. It's distress tiles. So I'm going to put this down first. Okay, so we have that. And then I have cut ahead of time these two frames from these dies. Let me show you those. So it's these two. This one with the scallop I used on the first card, and then this one with, which is the little insert. It just cuts that centered part out. Then I've also stamped and cut all these different shapes, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp those, but I have already die cut them. It just saves time. And you know, I always say this, I'm assuming you all know how to use a die cutting machine. If you're new to stamping and want more of an explanation, just let me know. I'm happy to you know, explain and show you that. So let me get a scrap paper of white, and I'm just going to do some stamping. So I'm going to take this piece first, and let's see, we'll do this little piece. This is Basic Beige ink. I'm just going to put this up here. And I feel like the Basic Beige, it almost has like a green, I'm going to put one down here as well, almost a greenish tone to it. And all I'm doing now is just adding a little bit of texture to this, or it's not really texture because it's flat, but a little bit of interest, visual texture maybe you could say. And so I'm going to set that aside now. The other thing that I want to do that, while I have my Basic Beige ink out, is to take a blending brush, and I'm just going to really lightly add some Basic Beige to parts of this. put some there. Put some maybe down here. I think this is fun to do when you have an embossed panel because it really highlights some of the detail. And there's no right or wrong, and you can do as little or as much as you want. Okay, do it a little bit lighter there. Okay, so there we have that. So I'm going to set my blending brush around. Oh, wait, aside. It's kind of fun to use tools like blending brushes too, isn't it? Because it makes you feel like, well, I guess we are artists. We're paper crafting artists, but I like to use those special tools that we have. Okay, so then I'm going to do, I think that's all I'm going to do with my basic beige ink. So I'm going to set that aside. And I am going to do some stamping. I'm going to do, okay, so I'm going to just dab this off a little bit. I'm going to use Crumb Cake ink, Wild Wheat, and Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to cut these images out, and also Misty Moonlight. Cut these out. Die cut. I'm going to stamp these. I've already die cut them. So we have that. And then I'm going to do, that was the only thing I did in Crumb Cake. Misty Moonlight. I'm going to do the big, kind of, it isn't really a Queen's Anne lace. I'm not sure. You know what? I have allium in my garden, and the blossoms kind of look like that. I'm not really sure what kind of flower that is, but I know that I like it. So I'm going to stamp this once, and then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it again because I'm going to use a light and a dark for my card. Look at the difference. And then I'm going to use this little flower here with Wild Wheat. And it's nice because like most of these, like you could do this, and this next image that I'm going to stamp, you could run these through your die cutting machine all at once. So just stamp them on a paper. I'll show you what I mean. I'm sure you all know how to do that, but okay, and then Mossy Meadow is the last one. And I did 2 of these. This reminds me of like wildflowers, which I guess the name shows. Just going out and gathering up a handful of wildflowers and kind of putting them together. So I would take the dies then for these. So here's this one. This one. Nope, that's not that one. This one. And this one. If I can get it off. There we go. So these are the dies, and I would just run those through my die cutting machine and end up with all of these pieces. Okay. I have inky fingers today. I have some days when I'm stamping, no matter what I do, no matter how careful I am, I get ink. I get ink all over myself. So, all right, so I'm going to start by putting this together, and I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down, and then I'm going to put this frame inside of it. And I'm just going to do a little bit of ink on this because I want to be able to slide my flowers in. All right, so we've got that. I'm going to go ahead and add this one. This just fits right in here as it slides away. Okay, there we go. Like that. Give that a minute to set. While that's setting, I have... I'm going to take this and do my words. And I did Sending Happy Thoughts. And I'm going to stamp this in Misty Moonlight ink. Cindy. Hi, Pat. Hi, Brandy. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. Stamp it on this strip. Actually, wait, this one, that looked a little bit bent. I'm going to use this one. I just cut extra of the word panels in case I make a boo-boo. Okay, and that looks pretty good. I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. And I think that's all the stamping that I need to do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just take all of these die cut stamped images and just kind of position them around this. And the other thing I want to do is take my bone folder and give these a little bit of dimension by just kind of curving the ends like that. Just a little bit. This one, and I'm excuse me, I'm just going to kind of tuck these around these frames here, and then I'll add my words. So I'm going to start with this piece right here. I didn't pop any of these up, but because I've curled the edges with my bone folder, they are going to have a little bit of dimension. You could pop some up if you wanted to, but I'm going to start by just adhering this one. Hi Suzanne, how are you today? Hi, Kathy. How are you? I think I missed saying hi to some people. I'm sorry if I missed you, but I do appreciate everybody being here. Sometimes it's hard to keep up stamping and talking and all the things, so I'm just going to tuck this here. I love flowers, so this kind of is my style. I love all the different types of flowers on this and the colors. It's soft, but tuck that under there. And there's no right or wrong. What I did when I was making this was I just stamped and die cut a lot of these different images and just kind of played around with it till it looked kind of like the look I was going for, I guess I would say. Okay, and then this one is going to go over here. I agree, Florence. I mean, it's a quick little, she's commenting on like curling the flowers, how it just helps, it gives it depth, it gives it some dimension. And then this one is going to be just tucked under here like this. Isn't this pretty? What do you think? I know some people don't like this style. It's kind of like a shabby chic. It's me all the way. I love shabby chic. Let's see if I can slide this in here. You know what? I'm going to just snip the end of this off. It's not going to show anyway, and we'll just tuck it under there. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to pull this one up a little bit more if I can so that these aren't even. I don't want it to be completely the same height here and here, so I'm going to pull that one up a little bit and get those on there. And then I have this other one that I'm just going to tuck right in here. Okay, the focal flower looks like agapanthus, which is okay. Florence must be a gardener. I am a gardener too, and boy do I've really enjoyed being out in my garden this summer so far. Got a lot of things I need to do, but okay, so I'm just going to position that about right there, like that. Then what I want to do, I'm going to close this up and I am going to get my Dark Misty Moonlight blend, and I'm going to do some flecking on this. So I'm going to use the brush tip, the bigger tip, and I have an old bone folder that I use. You can see, obviously, I like to do this flecking. I keep this just for when I'm doing this sort of thing. And what I do is I'm using the brush tip, like I said, and I'm just going to strike this and add these flecks. And you could do as little or as many as you want. Just do one more there. So that looks pretty good to me. So I have that. The other thing I thought that would be good was maybe adding some Wink of Stella on some of these flowers. Okay, so now we have our flecking done. Now I'm going to have to look up agapanthus because I got a new perennial this year, and I think that might be what it is because it does sort of look like this. And actually this morning I was looking out my window, my office, my desk faces our backyard, and there were some yellow finches, a bright yellow finch, and the female that's not as bright yellow, of course, but they were sitting on this plant, and I'm going to have to look and see. Mine is pink, though. Is yours pink? I don't know. That's the nice thing about stamping, though, right? We can make them any colors. So I'm going to put this here like this. First, what I want to do, though, is get my linen thread and tie a bow. Look at my linen thread. It's well loved. What can I say? Does that ever happen to you when you start pulling it and then the whole thing kind of gets a little wonky, but it's all right. Okay, so I'm just going to tie a little bow. Quite little bow, actually. And I'm going to fold the ends down. You know, I like to do that. And I'm going to get my glue dots. Betty, you must be a gardener as well. So any of you gardeners that are watching, I have had a terrible time this year with slugs. I am at war with them, and they're eating my zinnias, and I am not happy about it because I love my zinnias. Okay, so this is going to just tuck. So if you have any tips that you can share, I would love. I'm very interested in what you do to get rid of them. I've never had that problem in my garden. So, Lily of the Nile. Okay, that's probably not what I have then, but I'm going to certainly look it up because, gosh, they're so pretty. All right, so we're going to put this in place here. Just like that. And I'm going to use these gems again. This time I'm using the yellowish ones. The blue would be beautiful as well. But I just decided I'd switch it up a little bit. And so again, I'm just going to remind you, if you are interested in these 3 cards, I'll show you all 3 of them. If you put a $35 order in using this host code, between now and Friday, I will send you the kits for you to make these cards. Now, they won't have the stamped images in there, but let's see, let's put that right there. Okay. So there is my 3rd card, Sending Happy Thoughts. Isn't that pretty? Love the colors. It's just soft and pretty. It's kind of different. All right. So, oh, Betty worked at a garden center. Okay, Betty, what are your tips for getting rid of slugs? I need help. So let me just show you. I'm going to bring these 3 cards in. So these are the 3. You would get these kits to make these cards. If you use this host code between now and Friday. If you place a $50 order, then you'll also receive gems. I give gems every month as a thank you for placing a minimum $50 order. And I'm not sure what the gems are going to be this month. I'm just saying it's a surprise embellishment because I'm going to wait and see what's available. I wish I could get you these, but they are not going to be available till July. So it's not going to be those, but if it's a $50 order or more, you will get some gems from me as a thank you as well. So those are the 3 cards. And then I just had one other card I wanted to share with you. I received this in the mail last week, and it's always fun to get happy mail, but I thought this was a gorgeous, gorgeous card. And this is actually from Sarah Douglas. She is the CEO of Stampin' Up. And over the years, of course, I've gotten to know her. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. And she sent me this card because I reached $1.4 million in career sales, which is crazy. But so she sent me this beautiful card, and gosh, I sure do love it. So it'll find a special place in my studio. I'm going to keep it on display for a while, but I just wanted to share that with you. So I think that's it for today. I'll be back next week, and get your order in by Friday. If you want to get these 3 card kits to make these cards, you will need the stamp set and the dies. We can't do the stamped images, and we don't do the die cutting for anything included in the bundle, but you'll get the designer paper and cardstock to make all of these cards. And I hope that you will take advantage of that. And then if you're local to me and haven't registered yet for Lunch with Laura, I would love for you to join us for that. And then also the Citrus Blooms class. I hope you all have a great week. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. And as always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Take care, my friends. Have a great week.